Yeah. We back with another one. Yeah.
What's going on, Juco?
We reacting over here. I'm El Jefe. We just gonna like and subscribe. Have fun. Kick back. Myth Cartel. Y'all like and subscribe because you're gonna love it. This is the Smith Cartel channel. Go ahead and like, subscribe. We gonna keep going fed until we go live. I'm El Jefe, the big boss, kicking at Third Coast. We going, running, smiling, man. We doing the most to my family. I wish you the best. Remember what Jefe taught you, boy. Say it with your chest. Big boy, big boss. I rock it in the South. Got these folks lugs and all this gold shining in my mouth. I'm the man, understand, like and subscribe. We gon' keep spinning the block until we get it right. Yeah, that's real, like and subscribe, that's the channel. We keep it real, give you more than you can handle. Yeah, like and subscribe. Smith Cartel, I'm El Jefe. All right. Smith Cartel channel. We back with another one. All right. So I'm Jefe. I'm gonna be your host. I got my co-host Lily. She gonna be here. My little baby girl. She wants to sit and watch. So we're gonna watch some videos together. We're gonna watch this video with this what was this one? Antoine Massey, the one that escaped. Let's see. 1090 Jake, shout out to him. Smith Cartel channel. Y'all subscribe and like to it. We're gonna get it. Let's go.
A 6-week manhunt, 4 escapes from custody, and a first-class flight to prison. Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on the capture of Antoine Massey, one of Louisiana's most wanted men. May 16th, 2020.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That looks bad as hell. Look at all them. They is out of there. It was 10 of them too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more we missing. Whoa, that is crazy, yo.
25. 10 inmates escaped a rotting jail in New Orleans, immediately gaining national attention. An intricate plan would begin with a maintenance worker at the Orleans Justice Center cutting off the water to the cell. The inmates would force open a faulty cell door after midnight, rip the toilet from the wall, escaping through the small hole left behind, but not before writing a note for the jail staff on the way out. One of the biggest jailbreaks in the
Jesus Christ, look at that. Look at that. They crazy. They like 5 to 10 years more added onto your sentence for escaping. You crazy as hell.
Louisiana history, committed by one of the deadliest groups. Back in April, 19-year-old Corey Boyd was with 2 friends who were pulling on car door handles, attempting to find one unlocked so they could rob it. 38-year-old Mr. Brandon Fees and his girlfriend observed them from their porch. The suspects were approaching his car, so Fees went and confronted them. The veteran would be shot, stood over, and shot again in the head before being run over by the escape vehicle.
Come on, man. Y'all did that to the veteran. And all he was doing was protecting his property, and y'all wonder why people be wanting to pop people when they come near their stuff. This little girl over here tripping.
19-year-old Corey Boyd is accused of being the driver. 27-year-old Derek Groves was arrested for attempted murder back in 2014, but would beat the case. 4 years later, Derek would spin again. It was 2018, Mardi Gras, and a group of people were gathered in front of a house in the lower 9th Ward when 2 men ran up with AK-47 style rifles and opened fire. Jamar Robinson was shot in the arm and chest, while Byron Jackson was hit in the head. Both men died while 3 others who were shot luckily survived. One of the surviving victims would later testify against him for shooting him 6 times. Derek would be found guilty of 2 murders and 2 attempted murders, while also pleading guilty to 2 additional murders. But a juror error would result.
They just out there in the regular prison outfit. Nobody said nothing. That's crazy.
In a mistrial. Derrick Groves has been connected to 4 violent killings, and he is the only remaining man out of 10 that's still on the run. But the most famous of the group is none other than 32-year-old Antoine Massey.
What is on his face? Is that chess pieces? What the hell? Okay.
Massey. He escaped a juvenile facility, a neighboring adult jail, and twice cut off his ankle monitor before doing the race. Aside from having chess pieces tattooed on his face, Antoine would receive the most attention after he started to post to social media while on the run.
I'm one of the ones that was let out of the GC.
Was he posting while he's still in Louisiana? Oh my God. Okay.
What I want to talk about today is as far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. So I'm asking for help from the world, from Meek Mills, Lil Wayne, Young Boy, Donald Trump. I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence.
These posts would lead to a tip and a home being raided by SWAT, where officers were able to recover some of the clothing Antoine could be seen wearing in the video. Now, Antoine was asking for help from rappers and even the president, but his list of charges would make anyone say fuck him.
I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for.
You ain't gonna just slide past that. Theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse or violence with strangulation. The hell? Oh, hell no. You heard that too? That fool gonna stay in there. You heard him? That's crazy, ain't it? Yeah.
Today, what I want to talk about is that I was on 2nd-degree kidnapping, 2nd-degree rape, domestic abuse battery involving strangulation, domestic abuse battery, violation of protected order, right?
With domestic abuse charges and
What the hell? Again in another state? Nah, bruh. What the what? No, sir. Sorry, I can't help you. It's Nurse Sersky.
one county, he was being held in New Orleans on another case of domestic abuse as
That was them just running across the interstate. That's crazy.
well as car theft. But Antoine also had warrants out for 2nd-degree rape, kidnapping, domestic violence, and violating a protective order.
Oh, hell no. You heard that? He had all of that and want us to get him out. You heard that, Lily? Lily said she ain't having that.
It would seem Antoine has a history of crimes against women, which would categorize him in jail as a no-good piece of shit. Another tip would reach New Orleans police, and 4.5 hours later, Antoine was taken into custody in Holly Grove, the very neighborhood Lil Wayne grew up in. Officers would take pictures with the captured suspect before rebooking him into the same jail he escaped, but they weren't taking any chances. Immediately after being rebooked, Antoine was placed in a helicopter and received a first-class flight to the Louisiana State Penitentiary. Angola, also known as the Alcatraz of the South, is a maximum security prison run like a slave plantation that's home to over 6,000 inmates.
Every prison's ran like a slave plantation. It's just some milder than others. But that right there look crazy as hell. That look like Life, that movie Life. Not a pappy. Yeah. You gonna eat your cornbread. But yeah, that's how I look. But they be having cowboy hats on and stuff. But you know, they on the whole squad. So the whole squad, basically what the whole squad is, they out there in the prison in the yards and stuff, beating with them hoes right there, the hose sticks. They get them them blisters and stuff between your fingers and your hands and stuff. But you get used to it after a while. You get callous on your hands. But they're part of the whole squad. They go out there and hit the ground on the dirt. They get in a long line. I'm talking about a long line. And everybody got a do, step forward, do, step forward, do, step forward, do. And if you get off a line, boy, they go to shoot that fire off that rifle. Doosh. You be, get your racket line. Yeah, it's so crazy because you be out on a plantation and everybody be out there doing it, and them guys be trying to steal like peppers and stuff, like habanero peppers and little jalapeno peppers. They be trying to steal them and bring them in so they can cook with them in the dorm or in their cell. They go to their cell, and if they newcomers, they go to the dorm first. Then they get shipped off to a cell. But if you already there, you got a cell, and they be in there going in there, and they be chopping them up, putting them in with the spread, with the with the ramen noodles and the barbecue sauce. Man, let me leave that alone. Y'all gone, man. Gone somewhere. But that right there look like hard time, baby.
With 9 of the 10 escapees in custody, 13 additional people would be arrested for their assistance in the escape. The maintenance worker who cut off the water to the cell was arrested on suspicion, but he claimed inmates told him the cell was clogged, and if he didn't cut the water, he'd be stabbed. Others held by either cash apping money, transporting them around the city, and giving them a place to stay. By far the deadliest amongst the 10 is Derrick Groves.
Damn, they put the spit guard on him. You see them boys dressed like that. We used to call them the Ninja Turtle suits. Boy, they coming for you, baby. That's how they came to my house when I lived in the other house. And they came to my house, man. I never forget that. They came to my house and I looked on my cameras and I was like, it was like Tony Montana, like Scarface. I looked on my camera. It was me and my daughter, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm in the room and I ain't even feel like this was a long time ago. I was smoking a blunt and I was like, I had a blunt roll and I was smoking it and I looked on my camera and all I saw was because it was nighttime. All I saw was a whole bunch of people just running up through the yard. And I was like, what the hell is that? Like in all the cameras, they were running through. Each camera they ran through, you saw everybody running. So I started hearing stuff. I was like, what is that noise? Like on the roof. So I get up and I'm looking at the camera and I told my daughter, I said, look, Chrissy May, I said, don't be touching the doors ever. Cause she had a problem with going and open the doors, you know what I'm saying? Just open the doors when people knock on it, just opening doors. I'm like, girl, you ain't grow up in a time where these people were snatching kids. You need to stop. So I told her, don't be doing that. So I told her, stop opening the door to people. I open it. I'm the adult. She didn't listen, kept doing it. They knock on the door. I look, and when I look, it's like a bunch of people. Like I'm not even gonna lie, because I had a little doorway that you could walk down in, like a walkway. And it was probably, no lie, it was probably about 50 people just piled in right there. They had their guns out, everything, rifles, all AR-15s, everything. And then all of a sudden, she opening the damn door. I get up because my bedroom was right there by the front door. So I grabbed my shotgun that's right behind my door. I pulled the shotgun out. I already had a 245s because I've always had a thing for the Nicolas Cage movie, Face Off. So I had my holster, my double holsters in the back of my pants with 245s, and I grabbed my shotgun, my long barrel Mossberg, and I cock it. First one's a buckshot, the rest are slugs. I cocked it, stepped out. They drawing, and they got the guns right to my daughter's face. So I grab her and slide her behind me, and I swing around the door. And when I swing around the door, I'm faced with about 50 cops. By that time, my back door comes off the hinge.
And you can see the back door from the front door. You can see it through the kitchen right there. It's like I'm at the front door, and then you go in the living room right here, but my room's off right here because it's built on, and it's the garage that they turned into a room with a bay and a bathroom, everything, a master bedroom. So it's right there off the front. But you can see the back door right there. Bless you, baby. Bless you, mama. Oh, my goodness. That was a big one, baby girl. Bless you. Y'all better say bless you to her. This is a little newest addition to the Smith cartel. This is my bodyguard. But anyway, girl, you was gnawing on them fingers. But she just figured out she got a thumb. So she been trying to put a whole hand. Look, trying to put a whole hand in her mouth. But so I seen the door come off the hinge. Then I seen my windows bust. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? They done broke in the house, everything. It was police everywhere, on the roof, everything, helicopters, the whole nine. And I'm like, what's going on? And it was like, where's the person shot in the head? Who the freak are you talking about? And they had the guns out, everything. I had my rifle. We had a standoff for a minute. And then finally I put my rifle down, but I put my daughter behind me. So that way I said, y'all ain't fitting it. Nah. But it was crazy, man. And they had them uniforms. We call them Ninja Turtle uniforms. Boy, that mess, I'll never forget that. Never in my life.
And he is still on the run. Facing an eternity in prison, it's hard to imagine he's still in Louisiana as he faces the most severe punishment. But he's also the most dangerous. And if he's gotten his hands on a weapon, surrendering peacefully might not be an option he's willing to accept. We'll just have to wait and see how the manhunt plays out. Now this was wild to see this, mainly due to the fact that people started doing parlays on who's gonna be the last inmate on the run. We can expect with today's technology that everybody gets caught, and very rarely there are some people that just disappear. And it would seem like, the first thing everyone assumes, oh, he's gonna go to Mexico, he's gonna go to Mexico. The border has so much heat right now, I don't know if that's the smartest thing you can do.
Yeah, but going into Mexico, yeah, he can get into Mexico. Getting out of Mexico is the problem, getting into the United States. But getting into Mexico, he probably could slide in there.
You might be better off just going to the swamps or going to the woods and just living off the land, but you have to know how to do so. And everyone that got captured pretty much got captured in New Orleans. Nobody really left the city, you know what I mean? So it's like Antoine Massey was doing videos in the city, and then as soon as he dropped it, boom, they raid that.
These boys got escape charge for a weekend release. A weekend release. This is crazy. They ain't even leave the city.
House because they know exactly where he's at. Because people are telling on him. They're like, yeah, we know where he is. He's over there. We don't want him free. He's over here beating females up and this and that. Nah, get him. And then the other one, oh, he's killing everybody. Yeah, get him too. Like, the city doesn't want these people on the run. So it's really on social media, you'll see people excited. Right? Because everybody likes to act like they're against the system and the inmates escaped and, let them go, run. And it's kind of like when you think of the escape from Alcatraz. You had inmates who made floaties out of whatever material they could find in the prison, escaped, and nobody knows if they made it or not because they had to go through shark-infested waters. But it's the thought that makes everyone excited. They've made movies, video games, all about that. And it's kind of the same thing until common sense and maturity kicks in and you realize, well, wait, no, these people are pieces of shit. A 19-year-old who was trying to break into a car was with a group who ended up gunning down a veteran, running him over, and while they ran him over, they hit the girlfriend with the car too, and she bounced off the hood. Yeah, that's unacceptable. A veteran who fought for this country got stood over and shot in the head because he was trying to keep 3 teens from breaking into his vehicle. That's no bueno. Then, you got another guy who runs up during Mardi Gras and opens fire on a crowd of people, hits 5 of them. He's doing this with an AK or a Draco or whatever he had, an AK-styled rifle, 7.62s flying through the air. He opens up on a crowd of people, hits 5 of them, 2 of them die. He'd been connected to another 2 murders, and then he had an attempted murder from back in 2014. Yeah, he doesn't need to be out here. He seems to have an issue with not controlling himself, and he has a habit of killing people. We're good on that. We don't need that out here. You know, people want to enjoy Mardi Gras, not get shot at with rifle bullets. And then you have Antoine Massey, who even his own aunt made a video speaking on him.
Y'all making my nephew out to be a monster. He is not a monster. Is Antoine a problem child? Of course. Anybody who know us know that. Has Antoine been a problem since they fucking won? Yes. But how did he get that way?
Because of y'all. You raised him and you turned him into that. That's how he got that way. You can't blame everybody else for what you did wrong. Y'all raised him wrong. He don't know no better. Because of y'all, nobody else can be blamed. That's how he got there.
Y'all know how he got that way. From watching his father get executed in front of him, but he's not the only one that it done affected. It affected his sister, it affected his mama, it affected all of his siblings. Do you understand what I'm saying? It affected all of them. But this is his story with it. His sister right now is locked up and incarcerated from allegedly helping him. Allegedly helping him. She ain't been right since she seen the murder of her father. This not his fault, y'all, and I'm not taking no sides. And I'm not trying to make excuses for him.
They always try to get up and start weaponizing the emotions and thinking that don't work anymore. Not in this day and age. Nah, that don't work anymore. Now people see through that.
But this not for him, y'all. Because trust me, he's scared right now. He's scared. He want to go home. Because he the type of nigga, he will make decisions and think afterwards. Because he not all there. Am I saying he don't know right from wrong? Yes, he know right from wrong. He grown. But the system raised him. He been in jail 14 years of his life. Come home, domestic violence, he back in there. All he wanted to do is see his mama who just come home. All he wanted to do is see his baby graduate. But we know that's not the way of going by doing. But in his mind it is. It's his mind he can't do 14 more years. And the crazy part about it is he was the one with the lesser charges.
So while there can be excitement from a jailbreak, the thing is this. I don't know what the punishment is in Louisiana. In Florida, if you escape, I'm pretty sure it's like a 5 years mandatory that you get hit with. You know, so unless you got mad time, it's not worth it. Some of the guys that were in Louisiana were facing gun charges, robbery charges, whatever. You had a couple of them that could get off with a 3, 4, 5 year sentence. So if you're just gonna get another 5 years slapped on top of that, you might as well not even run, because it was only 6 weeks Antoine got away. The other ones were getting caught immediately. It's not worth it. Stupid choice. And you know, as much as they want to blame the inmates, they need to blame whoever is in charge of that jail. Because you can't have a rotting facility where cells don't open correctly, it can be ripped open, you know. The jails that are the least taken care of with the worst conditions tend to have the most violence, the most access to weapons, because if you can rip toilets off the walls, you can turn that bitch into a goddamn whatever the fuck, you know. You might even be able to build a gun out of all that metal. But what I'm saying is this. That was one of the biggest wake-ups to New Orleans, and it made them look terrible. And now they have to hunt everybody down, and they have to go crazy with the punishments to set an example for their failures. But what they also need to do is invest money into that facility, because you can't keep your city safe if you can't keep it contained. But as far as Derrick Groves, there's been no word as to where he's at. I don't know. He could be anywhere. We'll just have to wait and see how this case plays out. But drop y'all's thoughts and comments in the comments section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. Until next time.
Shout out to 1090 Jake. Shout out to 1090 Jake. Smith Cartel channel. Y'all like and subscribe. I'm Hefe. This is Lily. We're going to rock it out today. She over here tripping though. You hear? Listen. Look. She over here tripping. She I'm telling you, she done found them thumbs. She been but she don't know. She takes it and put one in, but she took try to put her whole hand in her mouth. She don't realize you can't put your whole hand in there. But she crazy. Y'all know that. All right, man. Y'all like and subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm Hefe. To my family, love y'all. To the rest of y'all, be breezy, baby. Yeah. Take care of yourselves.